I invested $100,000 with Mikey Taylor's Commune Capital. In this video, I'm gonna let you know exactly how it's been going. What's up, everybody? It's Adrian Brambila, your fellow internet marketer entrepreneur who is now no longer living in a van and a regular home, as you can tell. By the time I turned 29, I had a 7-figure net worth, and I got really savvy into how I should invest my money to make sure that my money could make babies and keep making money. I got my index funds as my main thing, but then I started diving into other ways to invest my money into real estate. But I didn't want to be the landlord. I didn't want to buy houses. I didn't want to flip houses. I didn't want to take care of tenants. So I looked into what's called syndicates. Basically, where a group of investors buy apartment complexes with multiple units and doors, and basically big things that as a normal investor you normally can't participate in. Like, it's hard for one dude to buy a 200 unit apartment complex, but get 30 dudes and gals and put our money together and we can buy that, we can reap the benefits of it. And I like the passive side of being an investor into real estate opportunities. I don't want to manage the day-to-day. I know that when I invest my money that way, I don't make as much money as I could, but that's okay because I don't have to really do anything. It's straight passive income. So when I learned that Mikey Taylor was opening up his fund for Commune Capital, which he's the CEO of, I thought I should give this guy a try. After all, I've been following Mikey Taylor since he was a pro skateboarder. I mean, check this guy out. Like Tony Hawk, Mikey Taylor, watching these dudes skate, that was like my childhood. I loved it. Not sure if you ever heard of Mikey Taylor while he was a skateboarder, but comment, show him some respect. But he's not a pro skateboarder anymore. He's a lot more than that. He's an entrepreneur, business mogul, real estate mogul. And he has this massive fund and a massive team, and he's now allowing investors to participate in that, which brings on a big liability for him. Especially with people like me that can make YouTube videos and tell you how it's going, but also means that his business must be doing well enough to have investors where he can make money for himself and the company and pay dividends to investors. That is the dream of scaling, baby. Yeah, baby, yeah. So I thought I had to get in touch. We were TikTok friends for a while, and finally when we met in person for FinCon here in Austin, Texas, I got to learn more about Commune Capital. I learned that he was raising $35 million, and the minimum investment was $100,000. The goal with the investors' money was to create a 15% targeted IRR. If you've never heard those words before, IRR means internal rate of return. And this is basically a projection, not a guarantee, a projection of what you can expect your money to make. Your return on investment, 15% IRR. Now, I don't want to get these comments right now. 15% on crypto, you could make 1,000%. We're talking about real, legit investing. That's a great number to have. Now, Mikey Taylor's thing with Commune Capital was actually not apartment complexes. It's storage units. And this actually has the same type of cash flow producing real estate like a tenant. But in my head, I almost think it's even easier because a tenant lives there. Lots of maintenance with that. Pipes burst, they're high maintenance, you have neighbors fighting each other. On a storage unit, as long as you know the cartel isn't keeping cocaine and marijuana in there, it's pretty good. You have people who just store their stuff and then they send you a bill. And then they don't send you the bill, you get to sell their stuff or keep it. I've never invested into storage units before. This is my very first time. And I thought after having dinner with Mikey Taylor, I for sure established rapport and trust with him. My wife loved him too, because my wife and I are a team. I don't just invest my own money and she invests her money. We are a team. So the decision we made, and we said, let's give this a try. We've never done it before. New investment diversification into storage units with a new person overseeing our money, Mikey Taylor. And $100,000, we felt like it was great starting point. And the one thing you have to be mindful of when you invest into something like this is you can't get that money, right? Mikey made it clear that it was a 9-year projection before you would even receive your initial principal back. So can you think of right now investing money and not needing it for at least 9 years? When you get to that point of investing, you have to think super long term. So that's not money we need. That's just money that was sitting in the bank, and it's much better being spent in an investment, in theory, if it does well. If we get our principal back and it continues to make dividends. It could be an amazing thing, or honestly, so many people have been scammed investing into real estate and they never see any dollars they make back. We just invested with Mikey Taylor 30 days ago. That was January 1st of 2022. And our very first quarter is supposed to get a dividend. And I asked Mikey, this was kind of the question I asked him that, was a make or break for me. I said, I know you can't guarantee it, but chances of making a dividend. And he told me that basically for the last 23 years, he's had the fund and his company, and they've always paid a quarterly dividend. They've never missed it. And that kind of assured me, although it's not a guarantee, but based on past performance, I thought, okay, I can expect a dividend this very first quarter, and that is going to make, as soon as I get that first dividend, it's going to make me feel like this was a great decision. Right now in the limbo stages, you're like, I trust him. I think it's going to be great. I have good positive feelings, but I don't have that data, that fact yet of like, here's your first dividend. We're actually doing dividends and not just holding your money as it appreciates in value. So I'm looking forward to that day. $100,000 is a lot of money. This is one of those things where you could argue this is how the rich get richer. It's completely true. And if you want to do something like this, investing into real estate, the $100,000 is a minority, a super small minority of our net worth. So if something happened, if something really bad happened and we lost it all, of course, it would be a bummer. It would suck, but we are still okay. All of our bills are paid. We are diversified. We don't have all our eggs in one basket. $100,000 in proportion to our entire net worth is super teeny tiny. And that's how I want you to think about when you invest into something or something new or with someone new, is that you got to think worst case scenario, something could happen. The person that you're working with may not be the person you thought they were. So make sure whatever it is, I don't care if it's real estate, or if you're thinking about crypto or stocks, whatever it is, just make sure you don't put all your eggs in one basket, and make sure you really do due diligence, which is something my wife and I did. We dug pretty much as much information as we can about Commune Capital and Mikey Taylor, and we felt $100,000 was a great thing we could do. What I'm going to do for all of you is keep track of this transparent journey of investing with Mikey Taylor. I'll let you know how it goes. I will report pretty much every single quarter how the investment is doing, any updates, information I get from them, in case you also would like to invest with Mikey Taylor or just learn what it's like investing with someone as a passive income real estate investor. But I'm curious, have you ever invested into real estate, or are you currently buying up properties? Maybe I should invest in you. Comment any experience you've had or questions you have. For me, I do still consider myself a beginner. I'm more of on the passive side, so I don't know the ins and outs. I don't want to know the ins and outs. I have other ways I make lots of money. I just want to make sure this is a risk-free type of investment that appreciates and has cash flow producing dividends. And that's what really attracts me to these styles of investments. But comment below any experience that you've had. I'm curious to see what you've done. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see what happens to my money over time investing with Mikey Taylor, make sure you subscribe, and every quarter I will give you an update. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Peace and God bless.